Yep.
Best of 5 series, $300.
Extra dollars, folks. It's 300, I believe, for 4th place, 600 for 3rd. So that is a lot of money on the line, one way or the other. The first map, as you can see, is Xelnaga Caverns. And ladies and gentlemen, I bring you the one and the only
TT Esports White Raw.
He's in the yellow trunks. He is playing Protoss to the southwest of the Xelnaga Caverns versus his opponent, a legend in his own right. And now fighting for the 3rd place in the SHOUTcraft Invitational number 3. He goes by the name of
Team Liquid TLO.
Sounds like... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What? What does it sound like?
It sounds like you've recorded that on an airplane or underneath an airplane because it goes whoosh.
Yeah, I deliberately had to... It actually took a long time because I had to wait each time for an airplane to go across.
Really?
Yeah, I had to wait for 8 separate airplanes. And you know what? That took ages. But that shows, once
dedication.
again...
Dedication
to esports. Yeah, I'm not just here to steal all your esports money.
Yeah.
This is Liquid TLO. He's in the red trunks playing Terran to the northeast.
8 times.
8 times, man.
Newcastle doesn't really have that big of an airport either. So
it's not huge, actually.
So that was a long time, man. It's like 8 weeks, maybe.
8 weeks, yeah, exactly. They've got to get the pedal power up going on the Newcastle airport. Yeah, it takes about a week for a plane to actually take off. But there you go. Never mind.
13 gateway from White Raw, followed by that 15. Gas pretty straight up. Will he use that 3rd chrono boost in a row? I suppose he will since he's gone 13. There it is. Does use 3 in a row. Very focused on his economy. Meanwhile, we do see TLO going for refinery and barracks. We want to go for 1 marine, get rid of that probe, then choose his destination.
Yes. Where is he going to go? In the meantime, White Raw with a little bit of harassment right here. And yes, I'm going to annoy you, TLO. I'm going to tickle you and see what kind of reaction I get.
And, well, not much, to be honest. I guess a marine. 2 marines going to come out. Oh, wait,
no. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Go away, probe.
Yep, needs to leave. Probe, fly away home. TLO with a pretty standard opening, which is to be expected. And in this matchup, the first matchup, he may indeed go for the style that he has been exhibiting over the rest of this tournament. We'll see what happens, though.
And a 4th chrono boost thrown into that Nexus. Really aggressive with those chrono boosts into that Nexus. And he's got a lot of probes because of it. 20 probes versus 16 already. A 4 probe difference at the 3-minute 30 mark. It's quite big. Which, because he's used it on the Nexus, chrono boost on the Cybercore research for the warp gate is going to be very, very slow. Very, very late. Therefore, probably won't see any aggression. Though with these couple of units, Stalker followed by this, well, the Zealot followed by the Stalker, we'll be able to poke around, find out what is going on, test, and put his toe in the water. Is it too hot? Put his toe in the bath.
Is it too hot? Is it too cold? Or is it just right? Is it actually a bath full of porridge? And in which case, how did that happen?
How did that happen and who do you live with?
Yeah, exactly. They cannot be trusted. Whatever the case, there's that Reaper that we've seen before. This is, I say, he has practiced this build down to an absolute T. There's no doubt about that. He goes for the 2 Marines, the Marauder, and then the Reaper at the slightly odd timing. And it looks like he might even get himself a Stalker right here. But the weakness in this build, I have to point out, is that because of the Reaper, he doesn't have the gas to go with Concussive Shell earlier. Yeah. So, as a result, if he runs into a Stalker, then that Stalker can simply amble away at its own pace and can move away easily, get himself back into a defensive position to deal with this little bit of pressure that comes in. And
Tech Lab goes on the 2nd barracks, probably Reactor on the 3rd, unless he's going to go for that Marauder heavy style again, which he kind of played earlier against Soke. The SCV is still there, could build a bunker. It's going to come and pressure a little bit. Reaper is actually really good with the army, as long as it's not targeted out fast.
Oh, yeah.
Kills Zealots and Sentries so fast.
So fast, yeah. And it would be interesting to see a shift towards a Reaper heavier style. I think the problem is they cost so much gas. And
I can't see
so
it.
Flimsy. Ooh.
Can't see the bunker because of the radius of this Nexus.
Yeah, very nice positioning right there. Extremely nice positioning.
It's going to finish as well before these Stalkers get there.
The thing is, when it goes out, it gains more sight range. But this is going up one way or the other. And that is really nice, a bit of initial pressure. And Reapers in bunkers are awesome too, because of course that's one of their primary weaknesses gone. They can't be killed that quickly. And that also means they can chuck bombs, as you can see right there, which does a lot of damage to the Nexus. This is a good little bit of bunker pressure right here from TLO.
And White Raw has about 15 seconds left before he has to go in. Final warp in. Maybe he'll wait for another one. I think he may be able to get
Risky.
another one in. It's a little bit risky indeed, but he's just going to go.
Here he goes, and of course there is no stim and no concussive shell in this push, so that bunker has to stay up, and it probably, I mean, it's only the Zealots working on it at the minute, so it stayed up a little longer perhaps than it should. A quick undeployment right there by TLO brings the Marauder out there and needs to keep that Reaper alive. He's able to do it, but he's actually crushed the initial force of White Ra between two heavy pushes, but I don't think TLO is going to be able to continue with this pressure. It was a nice little bit of bunker pressure, no doubt about that. He is continuing with good micro, focusing fire right there on the Stalker, sensible thing to do. Can he take out another Stalker before that happens? Surely he can't. Surely he cannot do that. He's going for it anyway, and unfortunately then eliminated. Nice little bit of a hold there from White Ra. Still, I'm liking that pressure. That was good.
Yeah, it was really good. Did a lot of damage there, and now has a nice economy. Has 28 SCVs. Going to go ahead and expand now.
Didn't gain any scouting information though.
Yeah, didn't know what was really behind that though. Doesn't matter right now because at 8 minutes is, you know what he has, but what he's going to go into is about now.
Yeah.
So now is the time that he needs to scout out very, very shortly here, and that was his self-identified weakness against Soccer. He just was not scouting heavily enough. Going to poke out now with these units. Stim has not been started yet, which needs to start ASAP.
Yep. I do like what TLO does there. He dips in and kills a Stalker, and he kind of ignores the Zealots at the front. And there's a little bit of force field play that TLO is able to dance around and focus once again on the Stalkers. If he takes the Stalkers out, then those Marauders can just bide their time kiting these Zealots that are chopping their way through there. There's a sentry taken out as well by TLO. Nicely done. And he doesn't really have a huge amount to reinforce this with just yet, but he can catch a few Zealots out.
And 3 Zealots warped in from this aggressive pylon. And North are going to go in and kill a lot of idle SCV, surprisingly, for TLO. Does retreat nice and fast, and there's that double expand now identified for White Ra. And losing SCVs to these Zealots, not really good. You need to get these Marauders back into the fight.
Yep. It needs to be as quickly as possible. The problem is he's sort of spread out across the map right now because the amount of pressure that was going in. We will see how much damage that really did. I think it's going to be quite significant, honestly. And White Ra now piling on the pressure from that aggressive pylon of his own, and he's going to follow that up with another 2 gateways. He's already got 4. And TLO, once again, he doesn't go with defensive bunkers, and he gets caught out like this.
Well, he's so late with Stim. It hasn't even started yet. I don't even know where it is. It's so late that this attack wouldn't have not done that same damage because he would have had Stim, would have been shut down easier.
Yep.
But White Ra smells weakness, throws down 2 more gateways, so he goes up to a total of 6 now. And there's just not enough. He lost so many SCVs there. 13 SCVs killed. He's down to 26 SCVs versus 43 probes.
Yeah, and TLO wants to clean up that aggressive pylon, but he's not really able to do so. You can see those Marauders are already quite badly hurt. Pulls back as much as he can, and this time he can't dip in and try and kill the Stalkers. He wants to, but he can't do it. Now finally decided to do that and gets a good surround right there with the SCVs. Nails down a Stalker in the process. TLO pushing this away as much as possible, but White Ra is the one with the game in his control right now. He has it in his grasp, and he's continuing to pile on the pressure onto TLO.
Hello, 6 gateways. Hello, 4 Zealots and 2 Stalkers. These Marauders are going to die so fast here. SCVs are going to be pulled off once again. And in the background, White Ra just chrono boosting the warp gates. That's all he needs to do right now. Just warp in, warp in, warp in. Yep,
keep the pressure on. And TLO's initial pressure was good, but as I said, it's just this lack of bunkers every time in his TVP at the minute. It's hurting him really, really hard. And he can't hold. And you pointed out that late stim. Yeah. Very, very late stim there. So if he's unable to keep applying the pressure and he ends up being on the defensive, then he's in serious trouble.
Indeed he is, and another round's going to come in very, very shortly now. We do have the Templar Archive, so we can easily go over to Blink or Zealot Charge. At this point of the game, it doesn't even matter what you'd get. Probably Blink because it's cheaper and your units are going to be a lot more cost effective.
Yep.
And obviously it's a lot faster to research than Zealot Charge, but at the same time, that just units. You know, TLO's economy is, so bad right now. 22 SCVs versus 49.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky for TLO. He's going to be able to push this wave away. There is an additional wave of Zealots warping in as well. He has still taken a lot of economic damage. That said, he has got this orbital command there, so he has been continually reinforcing from it, and he's been dropping in mules as well. So I don't think it's as dire as it certainly could be for TLO. He's pumping out a lot of Marauders, and his stim's about to finish as well. This attack has petered out for the most part, but White Ra's going to send in a very, very heavy force. There are a lot of sentries in that force this time around. That's interesting.
He's going to really capitalize on the fact that it's basically Marauders. If he gets good force fields and traps all these Marauders, Zealots are going to go to town. But Zealots are not there.
You know, the Zealots are actually on the right flank as opposed to the left, and Sentry's taking some damage, but Sentries, funnily enough, don't die that fast to Marauders because they're light units, so they don't take the extra damage, and TLO is able to then get ahead of White Ra's force, but there's the force field blocking them into the corner, so those are going to get sliced and diced, and there's the Stalker Warp in to follow it up, and that is it for TLO's defensive forces.
Yeah, and well, White Ra just put in a bit of salt onto that wound, onto that cut. He's grabbed the salt, he's shaking it all over because he's built a Dark Shrine.
GG, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. First game of this best of 5 series going to White Ra after TLO's initial pressure is thrown back, and I like that pressure. It was really, really nice. It was good bunker placement, and the Reaper did a ton of damage to the Nexus, but he just didn't quite have a follow-up to it. And then once White Ra took the momentum back from TLO's lack of defensive bunkers at the back, and of course very late stim, meant that White Ra could continue to just throw it on there, got 2 bases, got 6 gates up, and then just kept throwing units at him.